sit still, don't fidget, and just do the meditation and keep your eyes forward here. Because the words are just Shakti, they're just energy. And if you are open inside, everything I say will find a place inside you. And so it's important to really stay open, not to move, fidget, anything of that nature. The human being is truly a point in a triangle. And that point connects, spirit with our internal life and the world that we live in. And what makes it possible for us to open to spirit and receive higher energy is that we have to develop inside ourselves a system that is strong enough to do it. I talk about this all the time because it's really essential and so basic to any kind of, not only a spiritual life, but just to function here like a human being. We have a chakra system inside, and chakras are like psychic muscles, and they're a direct link between every human being and higher energy in the universe. And as we develop that system, and we build the grounding, the foundation in the third chakra, the place the Japanese call the hara, Chinese call it the tatien. As we open the heart, the throat, the mind gets quiet, and we're able to draw energy through the sex to the base of the spine. What we've done in the process of learning how to do this and building that kind of system, a system of this nature gives us the strength to, first of all, connect with spirit. Spirit is not some kind of wimpy little energy that floats around in the cosmos. In the Bhagavad Gita, when Krishna reveals himself to Arjuna, it's as the light of 1,000 suns suddenly appeared in the sky. This is a very powerful energy, the energy of spirit. It's infinite, it's beyond all human comprehension, and it's what gives life to everything in the universe. And when we open and we receive that energy, we need to be really grounded inside. We need to build a system inside ourselves that's strong enough to connect with spirit and allow spirit to enter, and develop the chakra system. So the building of foundation is the key. It's just like you can't build a house without foundation. A house without foundation, the first wind that comes along is going to just blow it away. So you need to build that foundation inside. That foundation is located in the third chakra, this area right below the navel. As I say, the Japanese call this the hara. They talk about chi. If you ever know anybody that does the martial arts, one of the first things they're taught is how to develop chi. Because chi is the thing that enables them to break bricks with their hands, enables them to, throw people and to do everything, that to have balance, with everything that's going on around them. And it's the real power inside a human being. So we need to develop this chakra, because this chakra makes it possible for another very important thing to happen inside a person, and that's to open the heart. Understand, the heart is the seat of love, it's the seat of joy, it's, the seat of everything that we relish on the earth. Happiness, it's the greatest treasure that exists inside a human being. But to open the heart, we need strength. Otherwise, it's like an accordion. It opens and closes. Something happens that turns us on, zing. 5 minutes later, something happens that turns us off, boom. Understand? So it's this kind of crazy energy that never stays open. And the reason it doesn't stay open is there's no foundation, there's no grounding inside people. There's no balance, there's no harmony inside people. So when we really learn how to stay centered here, please try not to move. We learn how to stay centered here, and we build that chi. When the heart opens, it can stay open. And when it stays open, we interact with life, with love, with compassion, with joy, Understand? There's not all that fear, there's not all that insecurity, that anxiety about living in the world. We embrace life. Life becomes our teacher and is showing us every moment what we have to do as human beings to grow. And that is only possible if we develop chi. That allows the heart to open. It also allows the throat to open. And when the throat opens, it's how we communicate. So instead of communicating with ego, with tension, with anxiety and fear and insecurity, what comes through us is, like in the Bible they say, in the beginning was the Word. And it's true, because every word we utter tells us exactly how evolved we are as human beings. And when the throat is open and the heart is open, what comes out of us is a very high level of communication. And at the same time, it enables us to begin to listen to other people and to listen to life. Because the real communication is not what we say, it's how we listen and respond to what people are giving us in life. So all of this is possible because we build foundation inside ourselves. And then all this stuff, this kind of birdcage with a billion canaries that never stops yakking up here, it all begins to flow down. So what's killing us begins to give us life. And then we begin to receive spirit because we're open. Understand, the universe is dying to give us wisdom. The universe is dying to give us the most extraordinary knowledge and the most extraordinary consciousness that we could use to live our life. The only thing that keeps it from happening is us. We're not open inside. Understand? So the whole process of meditation is learning how to get open so that there's compassion, there's love. Life becomes the teacher. Life becomes this extraordinary temple that we live in, this sacred place. And then we communicate. Not us talking, but this energy comes through us and it talks. And that really enables you to communicate profoundly with other people. The mind is quiet. We begin to receive knowledge, wisdom. We're open inside. And then all of that energy will then move through the sexual area. And that is, there are hundreds of books written on Tantra, and it's always about, eroticism and this. But yeah, that's part of it. But the biggest part of it is the transformation of the human to the divine. That takes place in the sex area, in that chakra. And when we have that strength inside, we can draw the energy through the sexual area. And as I said earlier in this weekend, what happens is you get the male-female principle, the yin, the yang, the Shiva, Shakti. That's where that marriage takes place. And that marriage gives birth to the Kundalini energy. Kundalini energy is the force that will rise to the crown of a human being's head and enable us to ultimately connect with God, with higher energy, with spirit, whatever one wants to call it. Now, all of this exists inside us. The only reason we're not in touch with it is we haven't developed a chakra system that's strong enough to do it. So all of meditation is about learning how to do this. You understand? Meditation is not a spiritual life. Meditation is basically a craft that we learn. We're born with the tools. We're all, we all have minds. We all breathe. We all have will. We all have needs inside. It's just using those tools and getting the training in how to use those tools to develop a system inside that is strong enough to have a spiritual life, to be connected with God, spirit, and at the same time to work out our karma in the world. We're born here to learn how to work out karma. We don't come to the earth for nothing. There's a reason why we come here, to learn how to transform suffering into a spiritual life. And that takes place as a human being uses and learns how to develop a chakra system. The difficulty, the pain, the suffering, it gets transformed into an open heart. And where does that take place? In the hara. Understand? In the chakra that's right below the navel, the foundation of a human being. So a human being is an amazing work of art. You understand? We're extraordinary creatures. And instead of living with 100% of our potential in life, we live with 5%, 2%, and we think it's something terrific. But by developing the chakra system, suddenly becomes 10%, 20%, 50%. Because we are connecting ourselves to energy that is infinite in the universe. Not the mind, not the ego, not what we think is right or wrong in our opinions. It amounts to nothing, you know? I mean, it's like Shakespeare said, you know, tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow. I don't know if you know that. Creeps in this petty pace from day to day until the last syllable of her chord. You know, out, brief candle. You know, life is but a passing shadow. A poor player that struts and frets his hour on the stage and then is heard no more. It's a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing. Understand? It's a tale told by an idiot. All this drama and soap opera and politics and crap that goes on in the world. And the only freedom is connecting with spirit. And having the ability not to get sucked dry by the craziness that goes on in life. To embrace life. Allow life to be the teacher, to show you exactly what you have to do every day to grow inside and build an inner life. And every human being has this inside them. I really mean this. Sometimes I stand on the streets in New York and I look at thousands of people walking past me. I don't think I see one person in 1,000 that isn't anywhere but in their head. Thinking, worrying, problems, tension, blah, blah, blah. You know? And all it takes is learning how to do it. Getting training. So you want to be a dancer, you got to get training. You want to be an actor, you got to get training. You want to be run an IT business, you got to get training. Now, when it comes to ourselves, we don't think we need any training, and the whole thing is ridiculous. You know, because the most difficult thing to deal with on earth is oneself. You know, much harder to deal with oneself than all the stupidity that goes on in life. Does anyone have a question they would like to ask? Yes.
Practice this at home. Do you recommend this to be?
You have to speak up.
To practice this at home, do you recommend this to be in the morning?
I recommend that you sit down at least for a half hour a day at home and do this meditation. But then more than anything, I recommend you got to go to classes because you need to get the training. I mean, and somebody who teaches this is there to give you that. They're not there to have you as a disciple. They're not there to be a guru. That's all nonsense, you know? They're there to give away everything they've learned in their life. And to help you as a person coming to receive that so you can learn how to build your connection with higher energy. But you got to go to somebody who knows how to do it. Otherwise, you know, as I said once this weekend, everybody gets older. You all get older, you know? And most people between now and then waste so much time. And then people get into a condition where it's sometimes almost impossible to do inner work as you get older, you know? I mean, you're young people here, you really need to learn this. Learn, you know, whether it's what I teach or somebody else teaches, but you got to learn how to build that kind of system inside yourself. But I suggest you do it at home. You can get a picture of a teacher, you know, sitting in meditation, an image of a Buddha, whatever, if you want to work with Christ, whatever works for you, you know. This is very non-sectarian here, you know, I'm not into any kind of religion. And you sit and you do your meditation. At first it's going to be very difficult because you're used to, you know, but then after time you get the training and you. First time I sat down to do this on my own, I think I sat for like 30 seconds. My mind was like, you know. And then the next time was a minute and a half. And then eventually, after about a month, I got it down. I was able to sit for a half hour and do it. The only person in life we're up against is ourselves. Although a lot of people like to blame the world for their problem. No. You fix you and you fix the world. You've got 8 billion people on this planet fixing themselves, the world would change. It'd be a very interesting place to live. But nobody fixes themselves. They're all blaming, they're trying to fix what's out there. And in my life, to be honest with you, I'm a lot older than all of you, you know? I can't remember one day on this planet where it hasn't been crazy. Not one day. And years ago I realized I can't fix that. So they call it Maya, an illusion. It's a dream we live in. I can't fix this. And when you fix the inner life, understand, the external world becomes your teacher, telling you what to do. It's no longer an enemy, it's a friend. Does anyone else have a question they would like to ask? I made a pact with God years ago. I said, this is your problem, it's not my problem. My problem is me, how I could fix me so I can get connection with you. It's your problem here, you know? You created this place. You didn't want me to fix it? I can't fix it. I can't fix me. And then I can fix or help. I can't fix, but I can help anyone who comes and wants to learn. Because I always tell people, look, there's a lot of energy, there's a lot of Shakti, there's a lot of wisdom that comes through. The only thing I can do is do it for you. It's the only thing I can do. That's where I need everybody's help. And when I finally made that pact with God, my whole life changed. I suddenly became a happy person. The burden of the world was no longer on my shoulders. I deferred it to where it's to the Creator, you know, of this world. And I was able to do what I did. And then, you know, the whole process of life changed. You know, you're able to truly see clearly how to work with people and how to transmit energy, but you can't do it for people that don't want to do it. You can only do it for people that really want to do it. Does anyone else have a question they would like to ask? You know, it's been a wonderful weekend, very strong and deep and very nurturing for myself, and I think for everyone who attended this weekend. But I just want to tell you, you know, the real test of a spiritual life is not this weekend. The real test of a spiritual life is Tuesday, you know, when you're dealing with everything in your daily life. You know, that's the real test. This is the gym. This is where you come to work out and build a system that enables you to really deal with all the kinds of situations that you run into every day in your life. So a weekend like this is not a spiritual life, it's the gym. It's the place to come and do your inner work and build the system that I'm talking about. And then as you build that system, it begins to affect everything you do in your daily life. So take it with you. Don't leave it here. Does anyone else have a question they would like to ask? Okay, well, God bless you all and thank you. You have a question? No? You have a question? Okay, then God bless you all, thank you. And, you know, just, you know, I do these retreats literally all over the world. And if people are interested, you can go to my website. I'm doing one in Portland, Oregon, 2 of them in April, and then in May I'm going to be doing one again in Oregon, in Eugene. In June I'm going to Brazil to do this, and I do this like all over the place. And if people want to come, you want to be involved, you know, you can get in touch with me and I'll tell you what to do. You know, and then Paul teaches classes here, you know, every week. How many days a week?
2 times a day, 7 days a week.
3 times a day, 7 days a week, so there's no shortage of classes here. So you can come and there's a place to do this work here. Okay, God bless you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Stuart.